Oh no!
What?
I did bad. I did bad.
What did you do?
I already started drinking my milkshake during the pre-show. There's only one way to reconcile whatever. English is not my first language. Hello and welcome everybody to the AWKWARDCast. ANY and Keyframe wonder about random dribble. And today with us, Mayde,
Hello.
Mayde.
Yes.
We've
Hi.
had so many long-named people over the course of the past few months that having a one-word name is so weird.
But do I pronounce it right? Because it sounds like I'm calling you a maid.
It's pronounced Mayde.
Yeah,
Like
that's okay. Yeah.
like in the short dress
Yes.
and the fetish and
Yes,
everything.
I've heard that a lot.
Okay, now I picture you this way, which is a great start to the show. But yeah, hello and welcome. Please, mate, tell us, who are you, what do you do, and why should people care?
Oh, I don't know if people care, but
Give them
I don't really
reasons.
know what I do. Animator, artist, cartoonist, musician, singer, songwriter. I do voice acting sometimes. I don't know. I've just tried a little bit of everything. I don't have a calling.
What's some of your most prolific work? What's some stuff that you're proud of?
Oh my God, Brothers in Arms! Fucking
Oh yeah,
video
you did all
games.
you did all those sexy hands and stuff like that for
Yeah.
the villains.
All of the rough animations on Brothers in Arms at the A Games, and then the math video I did for him too.
I love that math. I love the math video. We need to do more videos like that.
Yeah, it was on a whim. I heard it. I heard him do the little lines on Twitter, and I was like, I'm gonna animate that, and I got it to him like within a day, just as a little, what do you call that? A present, because I was happy with the work that we did on Brothers in Arms.
Look at that. I love how you animated the hands on that puppet.
Oh my
Do
God!
they even do the...
They do they do like that, and I love it.
Yeah, I'm really proud of this. Really proud of this animation we all did.
I will be completely honest, I never before paid attention to the puppet's hands in this scene.
Well, now you have.
Now I have.
Oh, yeah.
But, Mayde, I have to ask, this is the big question before we can move on. Were you the one that came up with it dabbing as it died?
Oh, there's a funny story with that.
Oh, okay.
It was literally in the call, because we were having a work call, me, Christian, and Sean. We were all in this call, and I finished the idle animation, and then I did the attack animation, and then Christian said, okay, now we need a death animation. I was like, okay. I drew up the dab in probably like 10 seconds.
There.
And that was the final rough that we used. It was like, okay, there's a dab. I'm gonna animate a transition, and then like within 2 hours, I had the entire rough animation done, and we all loved it. I didn't actually know the extent of the dab and how much people were going to talk about it. I just said, it's funny. It's a stupid little funny thing. And then when we released the video,
So,
like
Half of
the comments,
were like, "This
yeah, the
puppet
comments
just
are like
dabbed."
50 are like, man, this animation is like, oh my God, he dabbed. And I was like, oh man. I kind of, a little part of me regrets that I did that, but another part
it
of me
didn't
is
help
happy
that-
that it is there.
Yeah,
Like
it didn't help
people
that,
started
like-
talking
Oh
about
yeah,
it.
it's the third highest comment with 700 thumbs up. The puppet dab! Like if you agree.
Yeah.
What doesn't make sense? It did. There is... Facts.
Well, a lot of people were
Fact...
a lot, like, I think it was like so many people were so in denial about it being a dab and being so like insecure about dabs in their safe space that they were like, no, he's not dabbing, it's a bow, it's a stage bow. So I was in the comments
Take
like,
a bow.
I was actually in the comments on a few, like replying to people like, oh no, it's actually a dab. And people said back like, well, how would you know? And I'm like, oh.
I love the fact though that Will totally goated it on because his promo for the Brothers in Arms video was just a 10-second video of him dabbing.
My God, yeah.
Dab denial. I have DD. Dab denial. But anyway, how has your week in life been made? Do you have any funny anecdotes that you care to share with the class?
Oh man, I think the only funny thing that's happened to me probably in the past month has just been staying in calls late at night, talking about random stuff, and something about ruining my sleep schedule again. I've been animating a lot more recently, so like sitting here like doing my job, and I'm like animating. I look at the clock and it's like, oh, it's about 1 a.m. I'll get this, I'll just finish this up in an hour. Start doing some animation. Sit back, feel pretty happy about it. Look down, 7 a.m.
Where did the time go?
It's like, that couldn't have taken 6 hours. And then I review my work and I'm like, that looks about right. And then and then I just keep going.
It's like animating takes a lot of time.
Ah.
I did not know that.
I'm what do you call it? I'm ridiculously speedy with my animation.
Yeah.
The past week I've got 35 seconds done.
Which is really good if you know how long animation takes, especially frame by frame, which is what he does.
So
yeah.
No flash puppets or other cheater tools.
That's Christian's line of work, Buckaroo.
Oh yeah. I don't use flash puppets anymore because they're really limiting. Like I've learned that after using the GHX rigs over the years. Like I was there when it happened. I was there in the initial 4chan thread where they all got leaked and everyone was going crazy. Everyone was freaking out. And then all of us started studying these rigs. And then a few of us realized how unintuitive they are and how much better it would have been if we spent the past 5 years learning how to draw. So
I held them in my hands.
Yeah, now it's just like, well, I'm just going to, learn to draw and, do animation hand drawn from now on. And it's been so much easier than doing flash puppets, and it's amazing.
I guess it comes to if you have something really long to produce, the possibility to recycle or to just set a cycle or something is probably helpful in Flash, but I personally am a sucker for hand-drawn animation, so when I come across something like this, I'm always like, ooh, I like this uneven style, like Crown Prince, like Keneshi Panda.
Oh yeah.
Which
which animator is that? I think his name is like Eduardo or something. He's
Eduardo.
He's like a Disney tier animator just making stuff for YouTube.
Oh no, ANY is going frame by frame again.
Is it?
We talked so much about animation that he became animation. It's really, really crappy animation.
Here he is. Eduardo Quintana.
Ow.
Quintana.
Yeah, he's working on a few stuff. I think he's working on Claws. Yeah.
Well, link will be down in the description, Abu, for this person.
Sure. Yeah.
Let's just say that his animation is really amazing.
Who was it again?
Eduardo Quintana.
Yeah.
Eduardo.
Wait, I know this person.
No,
this person
Quintana.
animated like the song from the Broadway musical of Lion King, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Lauren. When this came out, my friend Lauren Diabirodi freaked out about it because it looked just like the movie, and this was all animated in Toon Boom. And I remember Lauren being like, when the MLP movie was coming out, being like, this is what Toon Boom can do. It's a legit program, and it's so good. This guy's good.
I've been thinking about moving over to Toon Boom for general animation.
I mean, this is literal Disney quality.
Yeah.
there was the initial thought of animating. You know, I do all my stuff in Flash, and then oh yes, this animation.
It's so good. But yeah, you could see it on your own channel. But yeah, Toon Boom looks interesting because Pimations just keeps talking about how amazing it is, and I'm like,
oh yeah,
I want, gimme.
And then like in some of the chats, I'm in like Minty Root is posting all of his like work in progresses of some projects he's doing, and it looks incredible. And, you know, like Tiara is just like showing off how much Toon Boom can do. It's just really amazing stuff.
Yeah,
it's making me really want to try it out. And then I figured out how to use OpenTunes. OpenTunes is like, it's like Toon Boom but free. It has like Photoshop style brushes, and you can animate with rasterized layers. So it's like
TV Paint.
Yeah, TV Paint.
So it's basically like
with Toon Boom elements.
It's basically,
it has like the nodes.
So it's basically like a third option next to hand-drawn Flash. There's also the Toon Boom thing.
Yes.
Yeah, there's like 3D capabilities of like 3D stages and all that kind of cool stuff. And I only started using it earlier this morning, and I'm already thinking of moving over to that completely. And I think the only reason why I downloaded it in the first place was because I know Studio Ghibli uses it for like all. I think they've used it to ink every single one of their movies. Like it's been beta for like ever, and then they came out with an official release in 2016, and it's super polished.
The only reason not a lot of people used it was because everything was in Japanese before people patched it to be in English.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's one sign of credibility.
Quality.
Yeah, that it's basically Ghibli approved. So
yeah,
okay.
And you can use this Ghibli thing without getting taken down by Ghibli.
Yeah.
Well, because it's just it's the software, not the.
You don't know what Ghibli could do to take things down.
Oh man.
I really know.
Did you breathe in their general direction? DMCA.
Lovely. But yeah, anything.
Was that anything else that happened to you, Mayde? Did no one try to run over your dog, or the dog try to run over you?
Oh man, I think I have a very boring life.
It's fair.
The only interesting thing that has happened to me in the past week is I got a new desk, and that's it. And I've just been working my ass off on animations, and you know, I got hired on Pencilmation recently as an actual animator, not like a supervisor or anything like that. Like I'm animating a whole episode right now, and it's taking its toll on me. Like I've got a deadline and everything. I started working on it last week, and like the first couple days I already got like 20 seconds done, and that was like, you know, incredible speed. And you know, I'm just trying to get it done before the deadline.
That sounds like a good plan.
Yeah, I want to get paid. So I've been putting like my all into it, and I didn't really notice at first how much effort I should put into it. I watched an actual episode of Pencilmation with a few other animators that were featured, and I'm like, oh god, I think I'm putting way too much of my time into this and too much of my effort into this, but it's gonna look really good. And I just hope I can get it done before the deadline, because they're gonna like,
ooh,
you know,
boy.
if I don't get it done, hand it off to some of the people and all that.
But those are like half-hour videos, aren't they?
Yeah, they're basically like what do you call it? Each animator gets a short of like 2 to 4 minutes, and then
So it's like a variety show.
Yeah, like a variety show. They have like a bunch of different animators just doing like their own individual shorts, and then they just compile them together into a big video, and that lets it get more what do you call it, coverage on YouTube, because longer videos are more advertised and all that. So
But yeah, I see
At
how
least
the
they're not
animation
making one
style
animator do
changes.
everything.
Oh god. If I was tasked with like half an hour of animation, I'd be like, can you not, please?
Pay raise, please.
You guys better be getting me a brand new house. Oh my goodness.
I want all the Subway sandwiches I can eat.
I want you guys to make a Subway chain in my town so I can have Subway sandwiches while I work on this, please. Thank you.
Make me the
But,
Quizno King.
Yeah.
But that's been your life, Mayde?
Yeah. Aside from that, I've just been working with some friends on a project we've been doing. Really
Awesome.
hush-hush about it. So,
Oh, well,
Well,
we'll keep you
fair enough.
hush-hush.
Exactly.
Well,
Yeah.
Max, what have you been up to? I mean, you look like you're in a whole new place, a whole new world.
I know. I finally got to move, and now I'm living in a closet, which explains why there's not more space behind me, why I need to sit directly in front
It's
of
just
the wall.
what Yuri wanted for you.
Exactly. So no, I actually did not move. What I did, I actually can show. Brain, work with me. Okay, Brain, work with me. I like it when Brain does this.
You
So-
like when Brain does thing?
Yeah, Brain good. So this used to be my flat. I was sitting here, and you guys saw this wall with my desk in the background, the far away, as you can tell.
Mm-hmm.
And we are now in the future, which is somewhere down here. Oh no, it's hidden behind this weird thingamajig. Yes, there it is. And now we are in a completely new world. So this is how it used to be until yesterday morning. And this is a brand new world. Okay, ignore this one. Yeah, this is how my flat is now. And now I moved over here, and you are staring at this very much closer wall, which allows me to present more of the smaller stuff I have. And yeah,
Neat.
exactly. So I moved all this stuff around to make space for a TV, which then comes in here, so that in the very future I can actually watch stuff from my couch, which was before it was impossible. I was like, I could put a laptop on the couch desk and be like, oh yeah, that's a great viewing experience.
That was basically us. Every time we binged watched a show at your place.
Exactly. Yeah, with this new setup, I still need to figure out how to put the green screen up, but it actually allows me to use the green screen a lot wider because this makes it easier to light and everything. So yeah, this is a big highlight of my previous week. So that's a thing.
Was that it? Is that it?
That's probably mostly it. I mean, I can give a full presentation of my wall, like there's a little bit of more stuff that's cut off, like because this is a very
You have the
small
Twilight
frame.
Raptor up there that Lauren gave you.
Yes, there it is.
I like that I have to. I like that I only recognize it from its faint tail in the corner.
And here also the drawings from I forgot his name again.
Tony Fleets.
Tony Fleets. So they are finally also at a place.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Well, man, this really shows the two people's lives when the guest and the host lives are like, I got a new desk. I
know,
moved
right?
around my living room.
I had to rearrange my entire room
For the new desk.
in
I
such a way, like I had the old desk right behind me. I had to take apart my entire bed, pull the mattress out, and then like move it into another room in the house, and then take the mattress out of that room and bring it into here. It was just a big nightmare, and I had to do it all in a day.
I can relate to that experience because if you take a closer look, this couch had the long thing on the right end. It now has it on the left end. I needed to completely deconstruct everything. So I can relate.
For you.
Oh man!
Let me play you a song on the world's smallest violin.
Totes. But yeah, Keyframe, what about you? Did anything happen in your life? Oh, wait.
What happened in Key's life?
You got married.
No, I didn't. I didn't get
you
married.
have been at a wedding. I always confuse those two.
Shut up. You know, when we're on this podcast, I could see you hiding your little shit-eating face. You can't hide it behind audio. Stop it. You're lucky you're charming. But no, I went to good old Indiana. Good old in quotation marks. Why did I return to that place of all places? Well, my cousin Josh was getting married, and I like my cousin Josh. Josh is a cool guy. He actually watches my YouTube videos, and he apparently was like, the best wedding present I could get is if Chrissy could come to my wedding. And I was like,
oh, how can you say no?
I couldn't say no, because him and his fiancée, Bianca, are like the nicest people in my family. It's almost disgusting. When I met Bianca, they've been together for like 4 years. And when she found out that my job is like the internet and doing this stuff, she was like, "Oh my God, tell me everything about it." And I was like, "You're interested?" "Yeah, why wouldn't I be?" And I'm like, "Josh, you found a keeper." And they had it like a Beauty and the Beast theme. She went down the aisle to the theme song of the movie, and they signed their weddings, what's it called? The certificate of marriage, the license or whatever. They signed it to, they had a live band there, like orchestra. And I'm like, I'm just sitting here like, wow, how much did this cost?
Oh, so the Beauty and the Beast theme wedding was what you needed the schoolgirl uniform for.
No, I will talk about that later. But no, and they played they played like a beautiful orchestra version of "I Want to Hold Your Hand," signed the certificate. It was a beautiful wedding. Oh my God, the reception though. And the reception was fun, but I never seen this many drunk old people in one sitting. Cause my and Josh's family and Bianca's family are of advanced generations. And I'm sitting here, and my mom has all of her sisters there. And for once, my mom was the completely sober one, because she doesn't like wine, and she was like, beer just makes me sleepy, so she didn't drink. Everyone else, though, was like, oh my God. And I just watched for a while, just being like, wow. We have a running thing of lightweights with no sense of rhythm, because they had good music, because they had total song dissonance. You had like Earth, Wind, and Fire of like, let's groove tonight, and then right after it would play Despacito.
Ooh, but British Ninja would have loved it.
Oh yeah, but I mean the thing was, all of them were like, Chrissy, ever since you moved to California, you came out of your shell. And I wanted to say, no, I just am more tolerant around you people. But I was like dancing down at the during the reception. And what people in my family didn't know is that I actually have a sense of rhythm. And my friends can attest, I actually can dance. And Josh was just looking over, being like, Josh and Bianca were like, holy fuck, Chrissy, what did you learn in California? You can dance? And I'm like, look, I know I'm white, but that doesn't mean that I have 2 left feet with all left toes. Like, come on now. But it was interesting. My cousin, who's also named Chrissy, fell and broke my other cousin's phone. Because she was so sloshed, she fell over twice. And the second time, she just slapped the phone down on the ground with the might of Zeus and broke it. And I'm like, ooh. Well, time to Uber back to the hotel. But that was the wedding. And it was nice. And then besides that, I stayed for a few extra days. And it was generally uneventful, which I'm happy about. Except my mom has 2 cats. I like cats. Cats are a friend of mine. If I'm not used to the cat, or if there's a lot of cat hair in one place, I get allergic. I do have a cat allergy. So I had to take copious amounts of Benadryl. So I was high for like 2 days straight. Because, I mean, I was either asleep, because Benadryl knocks your ass out, or if you try to stay awake, you get a sense of euphoria. This is an actual side effect of Benadryl. So I remember just texting Max, hey, I'm stoned as fuck. Or something along those lines. And he's like, well, go watch some colorful cartoons or something. And I'm like, okay. I was so like out of it. I just didn't know what to do. And so I was like, I want to message someone. Hey, Max.
So did you end up watching some colorful cartoons?
Yes, I did. I actually did, because they had TV there. Because I don't have cable. You know, I have a TV. We have like a Roku Apple TV in the living room that also has a Steam Link. So I'm like, hey, cool.
Mm-hmm.
But we don't have cable, you know? My mom has cable though. And so I was just watching shows that I don't usually see because, well, they're not on streaming services. I partook in my old stories, which is Wheel of Fortune and Jeopardy, that I used to watch religiously and try to answer the questions to seem smart. But this is my anecdote. I was in Indiana, mind you, and the midterm elections are coming up. So guess what commercials I kept seeing? I kept seeing a bunch of Congress, vote for me for Congress, Senator, the statesman ads. Oh my God, you wanted a reminder that you're in a red state? Watch those. Because there were two candidates, and let's just call them Zim and Zam. Zim's was like, apparently Trump endorses him. So it was nothing just, Trump endorses me. I endorse this guy. Like, okay.
This is the greatest senator in all of Indiana. So great.
Yeah, and then the other guy was like, hey, you know, our president does a lot of things, and I only support the things he does that helps Hoosiers, like strengthening our southern borders. And I'm just saying there, you are in the upper Midwest. You could be as far from Mexico as humanly possible without being Michigan or Canada. What do you have to worry about with the borders? I'm pretty sure 99% of your populace is Polishly white, and then the other 1% is slightly tan. Like Indiana is a wonder bread state. Why do you care about the borders? No one is taking your jobs. And then he was like, but if they do something that doesn't help Hoosiers, like taking 400,000 people off of Medicare, then by golly, I don't support it. And I'm like, oh, okay, you don't support the president blindly, so you're slightly better than the other one, but I was just watching these in amazement, being like, is there no Democrat? Because these were both Republicans. I was like, oh my God, there is no Democrat.
Wow.
Because I watched, but it was, or at least Democrat that gets a TV spot. I don't know. But there was that. And, man, life was uneventful. But to move into my media.
Ooh, which I believe you mentioned it, but I have no really clue what it is.
Well, the reason I didn't need a visual aid is because, for once, it's a physical item.
Huh.
I went to Bloomington is a college town. Indiana University is there, which is one of the biggest state colleges around. It's actually a very prestigious university. And what I used to do when I lived in Bloomington to get out of the house was to take a bus down to the area right outside of the college, which has like all those kind of hipstery places, the coffee shops in the basements, the record stores, the vintage clothing, stuff that sounds like things Keyframe would like. But it also has a comic book store that I absolutely adore. I got my first MLP comics there. I got a bunch of stuff there. So I go there every time I go there to get something. And this time I got the Rick and Morty comic.
Ah, you mentioned it, yes.
Ooh.
They had multiple trades. This is volume 7, but each trade was like $20. So, you know, your girl ain't gonna buy every single one. But, you know, I personally buy trade, unless it's a comic series that I want to have every issue of, like something I follow religiously. I usually get trades because it's a better thing for your money, and they put all the cover art in here anyway. So I usually get the trades first so I can actually read it, and then I'll buy the individual issues as a collectoring thing. But yeah, so I read through this, and oh my goodness, the comics are amazing. Like, I didn't think Rick and Morty would be that property that would lend itself to the sequential art medium well. And I am so happy I'm wrong because it's really good. A lot of self-contained stories. The art style works surprisingly well as frozen art because let's face it, Rick and Morty has a very art style, but they make it look pretty damn good in the comic. Like they know how to frame a shot, use lighting. They're able to have they're allowed to have better composition with these still images than what they can do in animation. They can be more ambitious. And the stories are nice and self-contained. You actually see more humanity from the characters, which is the most surprising thing. Like this first story that's here, they are all on like this alien ship. And there's a whole scene where they're like, do I save my family member or not? And they actually remember a positive memory. So I always forget. Jerry remembers a memory of Summer as a little kid. Summer remembers a memory of Morty. Morty remembers something of Jerry. And then Beth looks at Jerry and it takes her a few panels to remember a good memory. But then she actually does have a good memory where he's like, I'm so lucky to have a woman like you. I love you so much. And she shoots the alien. And it's so nice. And then there's like, the big story in this one was Summer goes to a different dimension to a dimension where she thinks she was cool. And in this dimension, it turns out she's gay. But she finds out from Rick that the dimension isn't really that much different. It's only that Beth doesn't drink. So it turns out Summer could just be gay. And it's perfectly fine. And it's like, this is actually really nice and surprisingly wholesome in its own Rick and Morty-ish way. I can say that I found more consistently good stories in this comic than most of season 3 of Rick and Morty. And I read also the volume 6 at the comic book store, which was also really good. And I fully recommend, if you can get the ebooks, though I personally like having a physical book when it comes to comics. I just think it feels better to have. I would say go on Amazon or wherever you can find these comics and get them. They are really, really good. Even if you're not someone who likes comic books that aren't, superheroes and shit like that.
I mean,
this is a good investment of your time.
You could argue that Rick is kind of a superhero. But
yeah, kind of. But, a licensed property moved into a comic, I would say get this along with the season 11 comics of Adventure Time.
But does it have any influence on the canon of the show?
I never checked, but they do state that Justin Roiland and Dan Harmon do put their okays on the stories that go through.
Okay.
And so I don't think it affects the canon. Most of these stories are their own self-contained things, so they could be. But I imagine it's the same kind of canosity as the MLP comics. Unless they're stated otherwise, you can say that they're canon.
Mm-hmm. Fair. There are episodes on the show itself that seem a little bit out of canon in and of it themselves. So yeah.
Yeah, but I fully recommend these. These are really, really fucking good comics.
Surprisingly, I've never actually seen Rick and Morty before. There's a lot of recent cartoons that I've not seen. Though I think how do I word it? The only things I've seen is the same things that my nephew watches when I watch them. And
you have the internet, you can look it up.
Oh, I'm always busy now. Now that I'm like slowly growing up, I'm actually like having to work now, so I can't like sit down for like 3 hours and watch like cartoons anymore. Aside from recently, when I'm rewatching Breaking Bad because I wanna. It's just too good.
Is this a segue into your medium by any chance?
Yes, it is. Tell us about your addiction to Breaking Bad, Mayde.
Holy freaking poo!
Holy heck.
It all started months ago, actually, probably almost a year ago. I was on Netflix. I was using my sister's Netflix, and she let me have my own little profile on there. And a friend of mine back then said, "Yeah, you should try watching Breaking Bad." And I was like, "Oh, they'll put it on my list. We'll do that someday." And then it sat on my list for probably an entire year, and I completely forgot about even watching it until one day my sister asked me if I can watch her apartment for a weekend, and well, she went off and went camping or something, because I don't live in a very good neighborhood. There's, you always have to have someone home. So while I was there, I sat down and thought, what am I gonna fucking do this weekend? And I don't have a computer, I don't have my sketchbook or anything. There's just TV and that's it. So she left her Xbox there, because obviously she's going camping and didn't need it. So I just opened up Netflix and thought, what anime am I going to watch? And then I saw Breaking Bad on my list, and I was like, that'll do. And within that entire weekend, I already started season 3. I had gotten to season 3 within a single weekend, and then throughout that entire week, I managed to finish it. And I remember going to Sean and Christian, like, this was probably just about a month and a half ago, and I was going to Sean screaming after I watched the finale. I was like, "Sean, what the fuck, man?" And he was like, now you know why it made me so angry. Now you know why it changed me. And that's the exact same feeling I had.
I'm sorry, but I'm imagining Sean saying that in the Sean voice, because
Yes.
Sean's one of the few people we haven't gotten on the show yet. Sean doesn't talk like a normal person. Love him to death, but the plant doesn't talk like a normal. He always talks like this, like, "Oh, that's tragic." It always sounds like he's condescending to you, but he's not. He's a genuine person.
Yes.
So I'm just imagining me like, "Yeah, that's why it made me so angry."
Exactly. Oh my god. And I was basically just telling him like how much it made me think, made me want to do drugs, made me want to go and do something illegal or something like that. It's one of those series that's you watch it once, and the first time you watch it, it doesn't just make you feel as if like that was a cool thing. It changes you in a way that's like that.
The first time.
Yeah, like, this is fucking amazing. This is awesome. This is a really good story and a really good way to end it. And I just remember
I'm still
when
stuck
the credits
somewhere in season 3, so
when the credits rolled on the final episode, I just like sat back in my chair, cried a bit, and fell asleep.
Sounds like the ending of Infinity War.
Oh man.
You are Thanos, and you snapped the. Oh god, what's the actor name of the main character who plays Walter White?
Bryan Cranston.
You snapped your fingers on the Cranston gauntlet, and all those seasons just disappeared.
It was yeah. So I'm rewatching it now. I'm on episode 7-ish. Yeah, so I'm gonna just like binge it once again, even though I watched it just a month ago, because the writing is really inspiring for like my own project, and it's just it's been such a huge influence in like the art I've been doing. Like, I like drawing the Dazzlings from the Equestria Girls movie, the Rainbow Rocks.
Yeah, the puffy-haired person.
Yeah, the Dazzlings, like Adagio, Aria, Sonata. I love drawing them, and they're the only MLP characters that I've been drawing consistently and regularly for like 4 years. Like, I stopped drawing ponies. I just started doing Equestria Girls because I like these characters, and eventually my idea of the characters started drifting so far away from the original, like the original influence that they were. So like Adagio is completely different, Aria is a completely different and actually hashed out character. Sonata's a completely different character in the way I see her now. And like, I don't know, like after watching Breaking Bad, I was like, you know what? Arya deserves to be a fucking junkie. Nice.
Thank you, Breaking Bad. You turned this children's cartoon character into an addict. You turned Arya into Aaron Paul. She's Arya Paul.
Because it fits her character in the way I've seen her. Like I take these because it's like when you watch the second Equestria Girls film, like they never ever said Arya's name in the film once.
Oh wow, they didn't, did they?
They never said her name.
So how do we know what her name is?
Products, promo, advertising, that stuff.
From the books and the ads, yeah.
The credit sequence probably says Arya in it.
Yeah. And like, contrary to like her speaking voice and how she, to her speaking voice, you'd expect her to be like the bassy vocalist. Her singer, the person who did her singing voice, has such a soft and high voice. It's a really nice contrast with her character. And Sonata's the one who's the bassier one.
I'm just imagining the Breaking Bad logo slowly turning into the Rainbow Rocks logo the more and more you talk.
Yeah.
But yeah, Breaking Bad. Is it a good show?
Oh my god. It's probably the best. Like, from all the shows that I've seen, from all the anime that I've watched, I think I put that top number one.
It's the best anime you've seen?
It's written in a way where it doesn't feel what do you call it? Oh god. You know how it's when you watch like a specific anime and they have those episodes where it just chills out, nothing happens for like 3 episodes and then out of nowhere. Breaking Bad has this writing style where everything is going at a steady pace. Even though it gets crazier and crazier, it's like logarithmic in how crazy it gets. That was the word I've used today. But yeah, it's just been so inspiring for me. Like just the way I've been drawing is a lot more desaturated and dark, and it's starting to fit the way I've been wanting to draw.
Screw this happy shit.
I still need to get around and finish it actually someday.
Yeah,
it's also on my Netflix list.
Will it make you do drugs like I apparently wanted to make Mayde?
Oh man,
maybe. I don't know.
That was something I could talk about the very first time I got stoned.
We'll save that for the post show.
Nice.
Sounds like a plan.
But anyways, so Max, what is your media? I heard it's something from Netflix, something recent.
Oh yeah, it is something very recent for Netflix, and now comes the twist. It's not the new season of BoJack Horseman. First of all, because I haven't been able to finish it. Second of all, I believe we already talked about this show at least twice on this show. On this podcast. And third of all, because I like this one. No, for fuck's sake, this one.
Hey, it's next gen.
Hey, next gen. So if you haven't seen it yet, it's a very recent, I believe it came out last week, a movie, animated movie on Netflix, as well you can tell by the very discreet logo in the top left corner. No, but I have to say it's actually good. I mean, there's a running gag. Yeah, there's this running joke about, hello, welcome to Netflix, we greenlight everything, what's your name? Which, yeah, a lot of Netflix shows are a little bit questionable, but where they put their logo on. This one I really liked. So, to give a little bit of it starts out with a lot of tropes, so it's not like the original masterpiece of the century. It's not. So we have a teenage girl. I believe the purple is actually supposed to be her natural hair color, so they have a little bit of anime going in there. Not entirely sure. Oh wait, I can probably put up the trailer. Next gen trailer.
The robot looks like a robot that I used to see like advertisements on TV when I was a kid of like, this will be your new Robo Buddy.
Yeah, this is basically the idea that we're living in a futuristic world where robots are the absolute norm, and you have this Steve Jobs dude who is selling them, and there's a new generation coming out, and yeah, and look at him, his smiley face, and she's like anti-robot.
Oh my god, he has a man bun.
Yes, he does. Yes, he does.
Nice.
And, well, you see, she's a little rebellious, angsty, angry teenage girl who breaks the rules. So far, we are pretty much in trope territory, but she still is a likable one. And then, well, she comes across this special robot who is different. But here's the thing, how would I describe this robot? It's basically... Oh, it's a dog, yeah. This is a Spanish-speaking, cursing like a sailor dog. Like he half his text gets bleeped out. It's amazing.
Oh. Shoot.
Oh, man.
Yeah. But yeah, thing about it is so to describe the robot, what makes it really good for me, where I'm like, hey, this is actually something worthwhile watching. And I would say the robot has basically the charisma and the depth and so on of an Ultron, but the good-heartedness of a Wall-E.
Aww.
Uh-huh.
No, this sounds like a whoop fest. No, I'm gonna like it.
Oh, you will like it. I really liked it as well. I mean, it starts simple enough that once again, it will not break anybody's world. It's nothing completely original, but it's well done. It's so well done. I enjoyed watching it, and now the one of the bigger quality seals. It got me misty-eyed towards the end. The ANY gets misty-eyed. It happens. One of those.
I love it when movies do that.
Yeah. So and they stayed strong. They didn't do how to say anything without spoiling. They did a good ending. They did the ending good. They didn't Gravity Falls the ending. They did good.
They didn't Weird McGinn it.
And yeah, I would say if I would do a serious critical review, I would probably be able to find a dozen flaws, whatever. But I sat down, I watched it. I did not play any games while watching it. I just watched it like with 100% attention, and it kept my attention. Also a big plus sign. And yeah, watch it. Watch this shit, man.
Yeah.
You can't tell me what to do. I'm gonna watch it, but not because you told me to.
I know, right?
It's slowly been looking more and more interesting to me. Someone mentioned like a Big Hero 6 reskin, and that's what I thought initially.
It's
but
not.
I know it. Yeah, I know it is not.
I mean, I don't want to know. Okay. Let me maybe go a little bit into spoiler territory. Why is this?
Why are the GIFs not working? Our 1995 Windows GIFs aren't working.
Yes, they are not. What the hell is happening here? I'm very disappointed right now.
Anyway, you want to talk about a spoiler?
Yeah, but now I'm also very distracted by the fact that my GIFs are not working. How could this happen to
Priorities, Max. Talk about the spoiler.
Fine. I mean, I had to rebuild it recently, so that's probably the issue. So to go a little bit into spoiler territory, no deep spoilers, because still watch it, but medium spoilers. So the robot, and the robot starts out very one-note, very Baymax. However, quickly grows because he starts out Baymax because he literally has no memory. But he starts gathering memories around the little girl. However, he has a very limited space for memories. Mm-hmm. So every single night he sits down and deletes all the memories he can get rid of. But he every single night he struggles on deleting any memories involving the little girl.
Oh.
Okay, that's kind of cute.
Okay, now I have to go watch it because you told me to. Oh.
Okay, we are out of spoiler territory. So, but yeah, And that's what I said. The robot is not just a Baymax. He's a personality in this movie.
Yeah.
He starts out slow and small, but he grows so big. Yeah, watch this shit.
Yeah. Well, now that we've made it to our medias, I think it's time for something, Max.
Yes, it's time for something. Really, it's half a minute. Fine.
He made us this as a gift.
I know it's a gift, but it's still a half-minute gift. But yeah, everybody, what time is it?
Time to ask the awkward cast. Let's see how long their sanity will last. They'll answer anything, both weird and forward, so long as the questions are always awkward. Question time. It's the Q&A. Oh, it's question time. It's the Q&A. It's question time.
The more I listen to it, the more it sounds like the
Somebody once told me.
Yes. So, to make up for the fact we didn't talk about BoJack in our media, Colonel Wolf asks, ask awkward. Okay, Keyframe, since I'm trying to knock out the new season of BoJack right now, and you saw it all of it earlier, I did spend Friday night as soon as it struck midnight that the new episodes got dropped on Netflix. I binge watched the whole thing.
That's the spirit.
I didn't want to get spoilers, okay? So I was like, I'm going to watch it, so I'm the spoiler. Allow me to kick off the conversation. In your opinion, A&Y and the guest included, well, Mayde doesn't watch TV, what has been the most emotionally jarring scene in this current season of BoJack so far?
The current season?
Yeah, I guess so far that you've seen, for you, and...
oh, no, it actually doesn't. It doesn't even say this current season.
Well, yeah, but I take that implication since they said they're trying to knock out the current season.
Okay, so, but this makes it actually more spoiler heavy.
Fine. In the series in general, you can say that the series in general.
This is still spoilery. If somebody has not seen it, because I know which probably is the one for me.
I have two.
Okay. Okay, let's describe the scenes that we know what it is without spoiling anything. So.
Can you taste the ice cream, Mom?
Oh, okay, I see why this one. Yes. Okay, mine is at the planetarium.
Oh, sorry. Oh, the planetarium is...
Yes.
That killed me.
That made me...
I was there when I saw that episode with you. Like, you just watched me when I watched that episode. I was like, oh my god, did they just...
And I believe there's silence during the credits, isn't it?
There's no music.
Oh god.
And then I'm just gonna say this. This is also a non-spoilery thing, but this is on Netflix. You can skip the intro of a show, which works when you're watching just normal shows. BoJack is a show you are not allowed to skip the intros for because it is constantly updated with what happens in the episodes.
I'm not sure if they already did this in the first season, but
they did.
They did. Okay.
Because remember, the first season I think is when they took the D off the Hollywood sign.
Could be, yeah. But
yeah, so they've been doing it since the first season.
Okay, because I recall that in the current season, it's also like I'm always watching the intro. Like, did they change something? What did they change? Oh, they popped a new character. Oh, the Puck girl is now in the background. This kind of stuff.
I hate the Puck girl.
And of course the zebra episode.
Yeah. Oh man, that was great. But no, the other emotionally jarring moment is. I'm not going to say because the thing is, the emotionally jarring thing is the entire episode, and it's from the current season. Mm-hmm. I'm going to say the least spoilery line in the episode, which is I think the last line of the episode. Is this Parlor B?
I knew that it was good.
That was also the best written episode because
it's literally only text.
Well, yeah, because
okay, Wolfhead has watched
to make it not spoilery. Oh, free churro! I could have said free churro, but no. This is an episode that BoJack is the only character that talks, and he's for the most part, the only character on screen.
Yes.
And it's basically one sustained shot in like the same area at different angles. You would think that a 22-minute episode of that would be boring as hell. No, it's an amazing episode. If BoJack gets an Emmy, which Netflix shows can, that needs to be the episode that gets an Emmy. But just to say my own little opinion about the season without being spoilery, it has some of the best episodes of the series, that Free Churro being one of them. But honestly, I was underwhelmed with the whole season. The thing is, everything with BoJack, just BoJack himself as the character, great.
But
Probably some of the
this
best.
season is so. I'm on episode 10, and this season
Yeah.
is extremely BoJack light.
Yes,
I
it
actually
is.
thought about like, wow, we had episodes in which barely anything happened with BoJack, if he even was there at all.
Yeah, like it's very much more divided up to the characters, which I see what they're going for because they started that with season 4 of being like, hey, BoJack's trying to get his life together, everyone else is falling apart. But everything with BoJack, I liked. Everything with Princess Carolyn, I liked. Everything with Todd, I loved, because Todd is an amazing... I love Todd so much. So, I will say this is not a spoilery thing, because they revealed Todd is an asexual in season 3 and 4. I wish they did more exploring it, because it feels like they always bring it up, and then they don't do much with it.
Maybe nobody on the crew is asexual themselves.
There has to be a crew member who is, or they could find one. They work in California. But no, but I have to say, the Diane and Mr. Peanut Butter stuff almost ruined the season for me.
Oh boy.
Like, the first episode that addressed it, which I think is the second episode, fine. That was okay. And I like Mr. Peanut Butter, always, because I like Mr. Peanut Butter. But it was too much of it. Like, I felt like they took up more of the spotlight than the titular character of the show. And I don't know. I just felt like... Also, I don't like the new character they introduced, the Pickles. I just don't. I don't like her. I don't think I'm supposed to like her, so maybe they did a good job there, but I hate this. I never want to grow up. I'm a millennial. Like, I hate characters like that so much. They put a bad name on actual millennials. But, like, it was a good season, though. Every season of BoJack is good. And it's great. But if you told me if I could only rewatch one season over and over, like if I had the choice of, okay, you can't watch any other season, you can only rewatch one, I'd rather pick season 4.
I guess I would also go with season 4.
But don't take my opinion with a grain of salt. I really like the characters of Princess BoJack and Carolyn and stuff like that. So, of course, if they are light in the season, like not a lot of it, I'm not going to enjoy it as much as, say, season 4, where it was very BoJack heavy, because
it was
like
BoJack heavy, and with what's the girl's name?
Hollyhock.
Yeah, Hollyhock, and with Hollyhock. But yeah,
I'm disappointed with how little Hollyhock was in this season too. So, but yeah, so still watch it. That's just my opinion. But there's your answer, Colonel. Thank you for giving me an excuse to talk about this show again. But from Denim Ninja, we actually don't have a lot of questions today, folks. This will be a quick episode. You have to marry the protagonist of the last game you played. Describe your new domestic life. Given the fact that I think the last game A and Y played was Fallout New Vegas, how was your domestic life there?
It actually was, thankfully, because yesterday I was still playing Darkest Dungeon.
What's the protagonist of Darkest Dungeon? Don't you have a team of characters, so you live in a brothel?
I mean, at the end of the day, you are basically the heir of this Darkest Dungeon. So your uncle or something, or grandfather, I don't even know what he is, Enchester. Your Enchester has summoned Lovecraftian horrors under his mansion. So I see a lot of tentacles in that particular one. But thankfully, I played Fallout today. So, But yeah,
So you have aliens.
but here's the thing: that protagonist in Fallout. So is it really asking the protagonist is my new spouse? Yeah, protagonist
Yes.
of the last game. But the protagonist in Fallout is my player
Is
made.
you.
Yeah, I just want to say it's my player made character. So is this an analogy for masturbation now, or
I was
for,
about to say, is it gay or masturbation at
or
that
is this
point?
is this about narcissism? Because I realized some amazing things, so I rotated the camera around. Even so, I created this character like 2 years ago. I don't even know, quite a
So
while
what's-
ago. He has a beard like this.
Oh, you made a self-fulfilling fantasy for yourself there, Buckaroo.
I guess so. I turned him around and I was like, holy shit. Thinking about it, he actually now... I don't know why I gave him this beard back then. Because he was
Because
actually...
it's badass.
Yeah, because it was actually not a representation of myself. I just created a character. It was not meant to be a persona for me. And then I look at him like, shit, now he actually does look like me. Or now I am him. I turned into him. I don't know. I ran around with Veronica, the little Brotherhood girl today. Does this count? And I guess I have a very punch-heavy girl who likes pretty dresses. That sounds weird. I'm not into girls who like dresses, but then again, she also like... if she doesn't wear a dress, she wears power armor, so I guess we're still good. So, what about you guys?
Mayde, what was the last game you played?
Oh god,
Oh,
Keyframe
last game I
Keyframe
played.
has something horrible, that's why she tries to go last. But
Yeah.
please, mate, you go.
Oh my god.
What
okay,
did you play
so,
last?
A couple nights ago, I played two games. Two games that my friend sent me. Number one, Fez.
Oh, okay. You're a little...
Fez is fucking incredible, man.
It's a very artsy
Oh,
game,
it's-
that's true.
Yeah. Plus, I just like the
Puzzle.
use of how they use the
3D.
3D
Yes.
as an actual thing for figuring out puzzles.
Mm.
And then I played I played Intelligent Rackety Paradise.
What the hell is that?
I don't know. I'll read you the README file. Okay, there's a bunch of squares. 2011 to 2014. Oh, there's nothing in here. It's like WarioWare for mentally insane people.
Oh.
Like, I don't know how to explain it, but while I was in this call, it was just like my friend was showing me how to play this game, and it was the most creepiest,
everyone.
scariest. Yes, this is it. This is like the weirdest thing I have ever experienced.
Oh, okay.
The game is tons of these random little mini games, and they just get progressively more and more creepy. Like, almost as if you're playing a horror website from 1999.
Looks
You know
like
that
you're playing a creepypasta.
exactly one of those kind of things.
Well,
And I-
thank you. Enjoy the movie.
Yeah, exactly.
And I remember just screaming at this game because it was so... I don't know, there's something fun about it.
But
And
is
it's a-
there any progression? It's just mini games.
I have no idea.
But-
Some of them are...
And he's studying every day and he doesn't like it.
But I have the feeling you also don't have a real protagonist in this particular game, do you?
There is none.
So
It's just,
you're,
it's just and stuff happens.
So
There's
you're-
no character.
You're
an-
married to the game.
to answer the
Yeah.
question, your domestic life would basically be an LSD trip with anime.
Oh my god, yes. That,
What kind of domestic life is that? Just like,
I don't know.
good day, honey. I will now trip balls
But
now.
yeah.
Yatta.
But yeah, Keyframe. You cannot avoid it any longer. What did you play last?
I got really bored last night, so I played an old game that I like. I'm just gonna put a screenshot of the game in here. Max, you'll know what this game is when you see the screenshot.
So I just show the screenshot to the... Oh! 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 Anybody who recognizes this screenshot, you know what her domestic life looks like.
Would you like to describe Corruption of Champions for me, Maxie?
I have a Let's Play somewhere.
I know you do, but describe the game. Because I'm too embarrassed to.
I would say I haven't played it very far, I have to admit, which is very sad because I got the exclusive deal with Greymane to make a title card for every single episode I produce. And so I cannot talk about the entirety of the game, but from what I grasp about it in my own playthrough and what Jesse Cox described about it, I would say it's basically the play your own adventure text book story about every fetish in existence out there. And it describes it in very explicit forms. And you can die in multiple ways throughout the diverse sexual acts you might get involved in. So, stop turning into Wooten up there, young man. So yeah, Keyframe's sex life is probably, well, Rule 34 IRL.
Domestic life, not sex life.
Yeah, domestic life, but I guess it now includes...
But yeah, so last night I was really bored and I was like, I want to play a game, but I don't want to no, I didn't want to turn on Heroes of the Storm or something, so I put on Corruption of Champions.
You know, Keyframe, there's always the option to simply lie. You could have just lied.
But that's less entertaining. Plus, I looked up which character I last played in Heroes of the Storm, and I don't know how much I want to describe my fucking domestic life with good old Zagara. So.
Ooh, okay. So actually, Zagara is coming pretty close to this one.
Something that happens here, but
Yeah.
Just to say something. This is get this up. Good thing we don't monetize these. Corruption of Champions. You have a function that you can do every night to jerk off. And it will, and its description changes based on what gender you are. But yeah, so but the protagonist again is like kind of, is it an XP for masturbation? Because it's just yourself. It's just yourself. Unless I could just be like, hey, I'm gonna date the gargoyle chick or the bee.
Yeah, which reminds me, so, Oh, wait.
Thanks, Denim. Your question now has made people change a lot of their opinions about me, or rectified some of them.
I mean, damn it. Yeah. Let's see if I can zoom in enough so that the title... Oh, wait, it has... Can I get those title
You could
cards?
see, you could see the bottom one is him running away from a bee.
Whoop. So yeah, there's a playlist. This is obviously going to get linked in the description down below now.
Yeah,
of
there
the
you
glorious
go.
2 episodes. Once again, not safe for work. Don't watch if you're underage. I'm not kidding you. This is
watch
really
with your grandma.
sick shit.
Watch with your grandma. But okay, so we now have the questions from Enigma Royal Prince. Since ANY mentioned achievements in his awkward cast, now I'm going to just change this to 1 achievement. He put 3, but
Yeah,
I'd rather
yeah.
1 because then I could be less creative. In his awkward count announcement this week, what is an achievement that you have not achieved yet, but still planning to achieve in your lives? I want to go last with this question.
I don't know.
So Max, you go first.
I have the feeling we are not talking about Steam achievements.
Well,
Because
you can count that.
if an achievement on Steam is really my biggest achievement I hope for in life, this would
Well.
be even more sad and pathetic than even I would imagine. Wait, I have a great idea. Mate, you go first.
Oh wait, are you getting your little idea board? Anyway, Mayde, what's an achievement that you want to achieve in that you haven't so far?
I've already achieved my greatest video game achievement, which was beat Halo 4 Legendary solo. And I'd say an achievement that I would be really wanting to do for the rest of my life, like trying to aim and try to go for, would be like, I really want to play on a stage with a band and just fuck up that stage. Just get real into it.
You want to be like the Who and break all the instruments?
Just break up my inner fucking punk rock.
You want to be punk rock from the superhero hour show we watched in the show?
I want to just get my guitar, get the friends who can play instruments, and just start jamming on stage to some people who are gonna listen. Sing songs about how much I love pizza and want to move to the Midwest and hate my parents.
You want to be Macaulay Culkin?
You know, I just want to have that experience under my belt, because all of the musicians I listen to seem to have such a fun time performing, going on tour, and when you see them on stage, they're all happy, and they're all just like jumping around on stage, and it just makes me so happy to see them like that. Like, I want to do that too. I want to perform on stage in front of so many people and just make them scream.
Sounds like a good achievement to go for.
Yeah.
But I have a prediction of what ANY stepped up for. Is that your little goal board?
It is my little goal board. I mean, it hasn't been on the wall forever, so it's all rolled up and all the pictures are scrambled up. And I cannot exactly recall if I can get everything. I mean, I met Jesse Cox in real life, so that's a thing that I did. I have like an editing rig, which is, as priority, has gone very much down. Designing my own game has taken back steps.
Well, just pick an achievement on there.
I don't know. Maybe still the 6-pack? Like going with the superficial one?
One day to become Chris Pratt.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. That's your achievement. You can't pick anything else.
And actually, a lot of the things have either taken a backstep in real life, or I actually achieved them. So,
which is such a positive thing.
I know.
Hooray!
Right? I actually did a little bit of achievement with some of them.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Anyway, my thing. I'm just gonna, since you guys were quick, I'm gonna state 2, only because one is a little bit more superficial than the other.
You're talking to the guy who just picked 6-pack as his life achievement.
Well, yeah.
So
okay, so
you can't get more superficial.
The real talk, true achievement, not Keyframe Chrissy talking kind of thing. That I don't feel like I've achieved fully yet, but I want to achieve, that I think I can achieve, is getting a better handle on this, the thing going on up here. Not the face, the thing behind the face and the skull. I've been relatively honest, without being oversharing, like Angry Joe or something, about my mental health. Because I feel like, that's something you should be a bit transparent about, and it's something that a lot of people tend to hide, because you want to put out the best persona of yourself. However, when you're hiding that part of yourself, you're denying people this opportunity to not feel alone, because there's so many people that suffer from the things I suffer from. And I've had a bunch of ups and a lot of downs, especially this year. And I do think it's one of those achievements that I haven't get where I can say I have made a significant amount of healing that I feel like I need to make, especially with a lot of relapse that I have. But, you know, I'm taking those steps. I'm actually, for the first time since I lived in Indiana, I'm seeing a mental health person in October, like October 1st or something. I'm actually going to go see a psychologist to talk about possible medications. I've been just working towards getting into a better state in my head, which I admit I probably took a backseat to that to fix the physical aspect of me, losing weight and that part, which affected my mental health in a good way because, well, science of health. and also a lot of my wanting to lose weight was trying to symbolically get rid of something from my past, because I gained a lot of weight from an eating disorder and stress from moving from Indiana to California for all those reasons. So yeah, but I think because of the people around me and myself, I know that this is an achievement that I can achieve. It's just going to take a lot of fucking time. And the first step of that is accepting, yeah, it's going to take a fucking long time. The superficial achievement, which is another like personal one. I want to have something I've done shown on a theater, like a state, like on a big screen, which I'm hoping to achieve next year with making a short film. But the biggest achievement would be if I could have it at a film festival that I could bring the closest people in my life to, because the closest people in my life are the people that keep me going and make me, like, I don't care who sees my shit, you know? I don't care who sees my scribbles that move. It could be Martin Scorsese, it could be a random stranger. The people that I care to see it are the people that, if I didn't have them in my life, I wouldn't make it. Like, because that's what's important to me. So that's my life achievement, to be able to be like, to show the people in my life that mean the world to me, this is what you being in my life caused me to do. To have something on the big screen, it's your fault. But yeah, so those are my life achievements. There, you got some positive real talk from Chrissy. Yay. Now let's go to a superficial question. And I'm also going to change it to just one of your favorite voices. What are your favorite voices of all time from any medium? So I guess animated movie or animated series. And what performance sold you on it? So I guess, what's your favorite voice acting performance from someone? Or like a character whose voice you really like? I guess. Something that sticks out to you. I guess to the... Oh man, we picked that for the animator. Hooray. Okay, Mayde, you start.
Oh, without a doubt, my favorite of all time voice actor is Blake Swift, Shady Vox.
Ah, Shady. He's such a good dude.
His range of acting, like I imagine his range of different voices. He's got that thing in his throat that he can do. You know, he's all over the place with it. But what makes him so special as a voice actor is he knows exactly how to use it. Mm-hmm. He knows exactly how to enunciate specific words, he knows how to scream in all these voices. He knows how to extend his range to fit the role of the character perfectly and never hold himself back. And the fact that he uses that in even his music and all of everything he does, it's just, he's such an inspirational voice actor and musician. And I feel happy to have animated his button mash lines.
Wait, are you the person who animated the ones where it's like, I'll fuck you in the butt and pull out your hair?
Yes, that was me.
We found the legend.
Yeah, that was so long ago. I animated those when I was 16. Hard to believe.
Oh man. But okay. So I'll give Max more time because he's an uncreative person. Did
you see the thread drops appearing on my forehead?
I can read you like an open book, darling. But yeah, I'll pick my because mine is I can say them quickly. Keith David is probably one of my favorite voice actors. Period. He's done, Goliath in Gargoyles and my favorite role he's ever done, which is Dr. Facilier in Princess and the Frog. I'm surprised I found a role of his that I like more than Goliath, but he just killed it as Dr. Facilier. He is a great Shadow Man, and that was my one criticism of the movie. I wanted more of him. Plus, he got to sing, and I love him. He just has a great voice, and I love that he's still doing work because I recently saw him on Tangled, and he's consistently doing more stuff. And it's also great to see him in comedy roles like Adventure Time and stuff like that. So that, but my favorite voice acting performances, because these are people that I've only seen do one character. Zach Callison, who does Steven in Steven Universe. Fantastic actor. How believably he could play a kid. Also, the fact that if you actually hear how he talks now, and then hear his Steven voice, it's just like, how are you able to go back to that kid voice so easily after puberty? Plus, just as the seasons have gone on, his performance of Steven, of having to be this actually emotionally troubled kid, is really good. But if I had to pick animated film, though, Burt Reynolds in All Dogs Go to Heaven. I recently rewatched it because Burt has left our eternal plane, and I've just been watching a lot of All Dogs Go to Heaven things. I love Charlie so much. He's such an asshole. I love him so much. But not in the Nick Wilde love. In the, I want to be Anne-Marie and be taken care of by this dog. But he just did a really great job, especially for an actor who's not a voice actor. It was good. So those are my choices. Max, I bought you as much time as I could.
Yep. Okay. Well, I have a specific voice. After a while, I finally figured out that there's a certain voice actor I like very much. Even though it's one of them, he's not as versatile as he could be, because at the end of the day, you always do recognize him. But at least he's no John DiMaggio, which is like always this one voice.
Yeah.
I came to the conclusion I let his words speak for himself.
Okay.
Happy New Year to all, including to my many
Hey.
enemies.
Oh no, it's...
Your favorite voice actor is a
Oh
piano?
no! What the fuck?
Oh, Max, I have to
didn't
say,
prepare this.
I know it was Mark Hamill, but I have to say that whole thing, you made it awkward, man.
A and Y and Key say hi to the people in the chat. The meme as seen on this live stream and talk about random crap. It's time for awkward cast. Random guests and funny gags is the awkward cast. Artists and analysis. You do not want to miss the awkward cast. It's the awkward cast.